The 2015 Oceania Mountain Bike Championships this year were held in Toowoomba in Queensland. Pretty muggy and hot and humid up there, which is quite typical of Queensland weather, obviously. The Oceania Championships are pretty much third to a World Cup and World Championships normally, but this year it's possibly the most important race on our mountain bike calendar, because whoever was to win the Oceania Championships would qualify and automatically guarantee a spot for their country at the 2016 Rio Olympics, which is obviously pretty massive. So the course was pretty tough. It consisted of two main climbs that were pretty straightforward, nothing too steep, and the first descent was riddled with rocks, and the second was just flowing berms. So I was pretty happy with the course, and I think it suited my style of riding. But I was really struggling with the heat. My heart rate was up, the sunscreen was just melting, and it was even too hot for me to use fake tan, which is a crime. So I wasn't as excited and eager as I normally am for a big race, and it wasn't from lack of trying. I just wasn't there, and I don't think I ever confidently pictured that I could win it. But I just tried to shrug that off. I knew I'd done the work. I wanted to go out there and give my best, and my legs felt great in warm-up. We assembled for a race call-up, and the race was delayed because the medics weren't on site. That was fine. We were reassembled, delayed again, and you know, it's the same situation for everyone. It's pretty frustrating, but at the end of the day, we all have to stand around in the heat, and we weren't sure when the race would start, but eventually it did. So when it kicked off, I actually had a good start. I was second into the single track behind Karen Hanlon, who is the three-time reigning Oceania champion from New Zealand. And I didn't know at the time, but only 6 girls had actually made the whole shot unscathed, and the remainder of the field had come down in a crash, which included the New Zealand national champion and one of the race favourites, Kate Flicker. So it was lucky for them that we pretty much just rode steady to the single track climb, where Beck took the lead from Karen. And at the time, I didn't really think it was an issue, but Karen couldn't hold Beck's wheel down the descent, and we ended up losing 10 seconds, which is pretty vital at that point of the bike race. So I made a bit of a dirty move after the feed to get around Karen, and Kate got around as well, and we took off in search of Beck. At first I felt really good, but as the climb went on, Karen dropped me, and after about 2 minutes I just felt empty. My heart rate was at max when Jenny Kim came past me at the top and put 10 seconds into me, and by the end of the first lap, like, Karen had caught me, and I was well and truly in fifth, and the only direction I was really headed was backwards. So things just got worse. My next lap was 2 minutes slower, and eventually Amber Johnson, who was leading the under-23 females, and they'd actually started behind us. She caught me, and after 1.5 laps with her, I was on my own again. So normally I'd pull out on a day like that, but there's so many vital UCI points up for grabs that I really just had to battle on to try and finish fifth, and I did in the end. And I was a full 10 minutes down, which is possibly my worst day on a bike ever. It's not only disappointing, but it's pretty embarrassing. You know, you train hard and you prepare well, and you hope that it comes together on the day, and it definitely didn't. So anyway, the good news is that Beck Henderson, she won the race today, which means that Australia will definitely be sending someone to Rio, and hopefully with some solid performances in Europe, it's possible we may even send two, which would be historic for Australian female mountain biking at the Olympics. So on Saturday we race again on a pretty similar course with the New Zealanders and the under-23s in the mix for the final round of the National Series. The overall title is on the line, and Beck and I will be battling for that. And it's a UCI category too, so there's a fair few UCI points on the table. But in the meantime, I will recover and pray for some sort of miracle on Saturday, because I've certainly got a long way to go after today. Thanks.